Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're looking at some really fascinating source material. It's all about this journey, this transformation from being broke to, well, incredibly rich.
And it's entirely credited to social media, like every single dollar.
Exactly. And the creator really speaks to people stuck in that, 9 to 5 grind,
Yeah,
maybe even working 2 jobs.
right. The ones who are doing everything they're supposed to do, but still just cannot make ends meet. Can't afford groceries even. It's clear the traditional system, it's failing a lot of people.
Yeah, it really is, which is why this deep dive feels so important right now.
Yeah.
Our goal here is to really pull apart the roadmap they laid out.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking the mindset shifts, the practical steps they took before things took off, and then the actual mechanics of how they built this digital income.
Yeah, how they got to like 6 figures a month and achieved real financial freedom.
The core idea, the thing that sort of kicks everything off in the material, it's pretty stark.
It really is. Old ways won't open new doors. That's the quote. It basically says the traditional paths to wealth, they're kind of blocked off for most people now.
We're in a different era. AI, social media, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat.
Mhm.
That's where the maximum wealth generation is happening.
Right. If you've got something to sell or even just a personal brand, you don't necessarily need a massive marketing budget like before.
No, you need the algorithm.
Yeah.
You need distribution. And these platforms offer it, technically,
Okay.
for free. So the argument is you have to study them.
Yeah.
You have to use them.
Yeah, you got to leverage that distribution. It favors, virality and authenticity now, maybe more than those established old school channels.
But okay, before we even get to the money, the creator is really clear that the biggest battles were internal.
Oh, absolutely. The inner game, they call it. You have to win that first.
So let's unpack that first big hurdle,
Yeah.
this massive fear of being seen, of being judged.
Which stops almost everyone, right? Before they even start.
Yeah, and the advice.
You just got to ditch it immediately. The plan is simple. Put your content out there, make sure your intention is good, clear.
Okay.
And then this is the key part. Whatever people say about it, whatever they do with it, it's literally none of your business. You can't control their reaction.
Wow, that's a strong mental shield. But what about someone who's genuinely, deep down terrified of that judgment? What's the very first step?
Well, the creator suggests reframing negative comments. See them as projection.
Projection.
Yeah. The idea is that miserable people leave miserable comments. It's coming from their unhappiness, not yours. So when you see something hateful, the mental reply is just, you're projecting. That's your reality.
Okay.
And if you're really stuck in that people-pleasing mode, they suggest journaling. Really dig into why you feel this need to explain yourself or be liked by everyone.
They even shared a pretty raw story about therapy, didn't they?
Yeah.
Connecting it back to childhood.
Yeah, very vulnerable. The therapist apparently traced it back to this need to constantly prove she was a good kid growing up.
That's a deep root. You got to pull that out, it sounds like, before you can really build anything substantial.
Absolutely. So letting go of fear is step one. But then what happens when things actually do go wrong? When life hits you?
Ah, okay. That brings us to the second big internal hurdle. The victim mentality.
Right. The creator is so adamant about this. Asking, why is this happening to me, is basically giving away all your power.
It's unstable.
Instead, you flip it. You focus on the lesson, ask, what is this teaching me? What can I possibly learn from this situation?
That's how you build resilience, I guess.
Yeah.
Find the wisdom in the setback.
Exactly. And they shared a really powerful personal example. They're a refugee. Grew up with an abusive father who actually took government money meant for the family.
Wow.
Yeah. And that experience, that trauma, led to this incredibly clear realization. If I'm not going to do it, nobody's going to do anything for me. Full stop.
That level of self-reliance, that's not just a choice. It sounds like it was a survival necessity.
Totally. And the source makes this point. When you work for yourself, when you are the boss, being a victim isn't really an option anymore. If you don't show up, if you don't create, you don't get paid. Simple as that.
It's the ultimate motivator, in a way.
Definitely. Which leads us nicely into how they actually built the practical foundation. Before the social media millions, they just had to survive.
Right. And the advice here is super practical, almost unglamorous. It's get any job you can and do it well.
Yeah, these weren't dream jobs. They were survival jobs, but essential.
And the list is pretty varied. Cleaning gigs, warehouse work, supermarkets, call centers.
Canvas shops, yeah. And the longest one was working behind a bar in a restaurant.
But these jobs, they weren't just about paying bills. They had these other kind of unexpected benefits.
Huge benefits. First, obviously, the money helped them get out of that abusive home environment.
Crucial.
But maybe even more importantly, they built discipline and these really valuable transferable skills.
They mentioned specifically working the bar and dealing with customers helped overcome this real insecurity around interacting with men, coworkers, bosses.
Yeah, things they weren't really allowed to do growing up. So those interactions built confidence, communication skills, negotiation skills.
And that's the link, right? That reliability, that ability to handle difficult situations, to negotiate. That's what they say makes brands want to work with them now.
Exactly. That early discipline is why brands keep coming back for those big sponsorships today. It pays off down the line.
Those early habits, yeah. Okay, so survival jobs are key. They also really stressed having backup plans, especially if you don't have that safety net of generational wealth.
Right. Two main strategies there. First, they advise listeners, especially women, to be smart about choosing a partner.
How so?
Not about relying on them financially, but looking for ambition and stability in the partner. Someone with a solid career path can act as a sort of practical hedge if your own social media thing has rough patches.
Okay, that's pragmatic.
Yeah.
But how do you avoid it feeling purely transactional?
Well, they emphasize it has to be about shared values and ambition, not just the money. It's about building security together, in parallel, not dependency.
Gotcha. And the second backup?
Formal education. The creator got a degree in administration and office work. So, worst case scenario, they have skills for roles like bookkeeping or being an admin assistant, maybe in a law firm, a solid fallback.
Smart. Always have plan B, plan C. And they also pointed out how easy it is now to learn skills fast.
Oh, yeah. Phones, online videos, tools like ChatGPT, you can basically teach yourself anything. Massages, cooking, makeup, whatever. The creator mentions spending hours every day early on just studying. Manifestation, science, trauma healing, just deep self-education.
It really shows that this kind of success isn't just luck. It's about being relentless with learning and using the tools available. That self-improvement engine is maybe the most valuable asset.
Totally agree.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics then, because earning that kind of money, what was it, 6 figures monthly?
Yeah, 6 figures a month, and they mentioned 1 to 2 million a year. It requires a system.
Definitely. And it comes from 4 main income streams, diversified.
Right. YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok.
So YouTube is ads and sponsorships.
Yep. And they said their sponsorship price is deliberately very high. They know their worth based on subscriber numbers and, crucially, high engagement views and comments. They set a price, and if a company can't afford it, well...
They hold the line.
Oh.
Okay. What about Instagram?
Paid videos there, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes involving 6-figure contracts, apparently.
Wow. And Snapchat?
Snapchat requires high consistency, just posting pictures and videos regularly. But they get paid for that. The creator actually thinks Snapchat or maybe Twitch could be the highest earners for creators overall.
Interesting. Though they stayed away from Twitch.
Yeah, privacy concerns, didn't want to film their entire life constantly.
Makes sense. And the last one, TikTok.
Well, besides the standard monetization some countries have, artists pay them directly to use their sounds and videos.
Oh.
And that can be a couple of $1,000s just for one video using a specific song.
Yeah.
It's about layering all these different income sources.
It's incredibly diversified. Now, to make all this work, to get that big, authenticity comes up again.
Yeah, but they give it this interesting weight, calling it one of the highest vibrations, even higher than love, they claimed.
Okay, what does that mean practically? Higher than love?
I think what they're getting at is that audiences can sense your core intention, like immediately. If you're just copying someone else, or if your only goal is get famous, get money, it feels off. It doesn't connect.
So that pure intention, whether it's helping people, making them laugh, just entertaining that clarity, is more powerful for building a real community than just, say, generic positivity.
That seems to be the idea. That specific pure intent resonates deeper.
Okay, now here's where things get a bit complicated. We have to talk about controversy.
Ah, yes, the hate factor.
Right. The creator points out that while sponsors obviously don't love being associated with drama or cyberbullying,
the hate itself, the lies, the drama directed at the creator, it actually functions as free publicity.
that's a really cynical take on how attention works.
Oh, it is. But they gave a specific example. After a big cheating scandal blew up, full of lies and hate apparently, they actually got more opportunities.
Because the drama drove traffic and interest through the roof.
Exactly. It spiked everything.
So is the message here to court controversy or just Accept it when it happens. That feels like walking a fine line.
It seems more like observing a phenomenon and leveraging it rather than actively seeking it out. They noted this weird aspect of human psychology,
It's
that people are often most fascinated by the women who are hated the most. Constant positivity, constant love, it's boring, according to the source. And then there's this counterintuitive twist. When the hate gets too big, like overwhelming cyberbullying, people's protective instincts kick in. They start defending the person being attacked.
And that defense turns into support and business success.
Leads directly to it, yeah. More support, more business. They even mention people selling companies for billions after weathering huge hate storms. It's startling.
Hatred driving traffic, extreme hatred driving loyalty. Wow. Okay, so this success, this abundance, it feeds into this belief they have about giving back.
Yes, a strong belief in blessing women with money and honoring the divine feminine. This idea that women are close to God because they create life.
And they back this up with action.
Big time. At 21, that first YouTube check went straight to their mom.
Okay.
But then at 22, after one massive sponsorship deal, paid off their mother's house completely.
Wow, that's life-changing. How many years of work did that save her?
15 years, they said.
Okay.
15 years wiped off her mortgage.
That's generational wealth transfer right there. Instant stability.
Totally. And they didn't stop there. Monthly allowance for the mom, paid off her car, cover family trips, friend expenses. It's using that digital wealth for tangible security for others.
A powerful example. Okay, before we get to the final mindset stuff, there was one more practical tip for creators starting out.
Ah, right. The language choice.
Yeah. Think about using your native language instead of just defaulting to English.
Makes sense. The English-speaking market is just incredibly crowded, super saturated.
But if you create content in your local language, even for a smaller country, way less competition within that specific audience, you can potentially grow faster and earn well targeting that niche.
Smart strategy. Okay, so that brings us to the final pieces. The mindset needed to sustain this.
And the first warning is pretty blunt. Stop being just a consumer.
Yeah. The creator realized early on that just scrolling, just taking in content, it's often a form of procrastination, an addiction even.
And you will not make it if you stay in that mode.
Right. Success comes from shifting to being a creator, doesn't matter what, as long as it's something that, fulfills you, makes you happy.
And they also tackle that negative programming so many of us have around money.
Oh, yeah. Telling people to stop with the negative affirmations. Things like money is bad, money isn't important, it's impossible to get rich.
You have to actively fight that program.
And replace it. Use positive affirmations. Money loves me. I love money. See it as energy.
The insight there was interesting.
Yeah.
Money just amplifies who you already are.
Exactly. A good person gets money that can do more good. A bad person gets money. Well, they often become worse. Money itself is neutral. It's just a tool.
Okay. So banish fear, ditch the victim mentality, build backups, master the mechanics, leverage controversy if it happens, give back. What's the final ingredient?
It really boils down to confidence and action.
Like absolute unshakable confidence.
Pretty much. The advice was walk into the room as if God himself sent you there. That level of belief.
Because the biggest failure comes from shame and overthinking.
Precisely. And this leads to maybe the most confronting insight of all.
Which is?
The people you might see online who seem kind of cringe and weird, they're the ones making millions because they are absolutely not afraid to look like a fool.
Oof. That hits home.
Right. The real fool, the source argues, is the person struggling because they've locked themselves in this imaginary cage of worrying what other people think.
So the mantra is, just do it.
Do it first, then think about it later. Put your creation out there. Have what they call delusional faith that you are going to make it. Act first.
So wrapping this all up, what's the takeaway? It seems like digital wealth today is this mix of using the tools smartly, radical authenticity,
and just zero tolerance for fear and overthinking. It demands complete self-reliance.
And that self-reliance, that's the ultimate safety net.
Yeah, the creator put it perfectly. As long as you have yourself, you have everything. The minute you lose yourself, you lose your mind, you lose everything. No one's coming to rescue you.
You have to be the adult your inner child needed.
That's the core of it. You have to be reliable for yourself.
So maybe the challenge for everyone listening is this. What's that one thing you're not doing right now? That thing you want to create or try? What are you holding back on because you're worried about looking cringe or foolish to someone who honestly probably won't even remember or care in a year?
That's the question to sit with.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.